All right, happy Wednesday night, everybody. Hope you're having a great day, great week so far. We got a lot of stuff going on, and you guys are going to join us on the United Supermarkets and Market Street chat line tonight. Whether you are with us on Twitter X at Ryan Hyatt Media, there, whether you are on our YouTube channel, growing every day, race past 500, keep going. If you hadn't subscribed, do it. It's free. And then on our Facebook page, Brian Hyatt's Raiderland again, all free, everything. You choose the platforms, but subscribe to all of them because we give you a little bit different stuff on everything that we do. So it's Wednesday. That means what if around here. Alternate history is always cool. The what ifs, the what might have happened, the alt universe that we could exist in. And tonight we're talking about the alt universe where all college sports is non scholarship, no NIL, no scholarship, all walk ons. It's whoever just goes to that school, kind of like high school for now, kind of like high school, and they play. And you go to that school and you either root for them or you don't. College sports, completely amateur, no scholarships. Would you still root for would you still be interested? How would it affect you if that were the case? Because I've got a lot of people every day telling me, I don't like these guys getting paid. I don't like this stuff. I don't like any of this thing. Okay, take it all out. In the alternate universe, in the alt history universe, it's just dudes that go to school or girls that go to school, women, young women, whatever. You get the idea. Also tonight, All-Star game coverage last night. Your thoughts on that? British Open, I got my picks. How do you think Ludwig Aubert is going to do? And then ice cream flavors. Ice cream flavors. Your favorite ice cream flavors. It's the dead of summer. It's ice cream time. Your favorites, your best. What do you got for me? All right. Now, the next thing you do right now is you let us know the audio is good, the video is good, no matter which platform you're watching. Give us a thumbs up. Hearts used to be the thing on Periscope. And then you share the dog out of it. Invite people in, no matter what platform you're watching, Twitter, YouTube, or Facebook Live. Share it. Let people know we're having a good conversation. It's going to be fun from Texas Tech sports and beyond. Anything that's on your mind, it's on the show. In 3, in 2. Good evening, West Texans, all you good, fine, friendly folks out there who wish you from Ryan Hyatt, theraiderland.com. Glad to be with you here in the worldwide headquarters, brought to you tonight by Shropshire Insurance of Texas, locally owned and operated here in Lubbock, but they serve all the state of Texas now, and they're proud to bring you What If Wednesdays because you know what? If you've got Shropshire Insurance, you don't have to wonder what if when it comes to insurance, no matter what's going on. So it could be your business. It could be your family. It could be your church. It could be any civic organization you're involved in. You need to get a hold of Jeff Shropshire. So you don't wonder what if when hard times come a calling. Also brought to you by The Reserve, a culinary tavern, 103rd, 104th. They're on Quaker. It's good stuff. Great brunches on Saturday and Sunday. Exceptional cocktails. An ambiance. So you guys didn't know I knew the word ambiance. They got an ambiance in there. What ambiance means is that you can actually hear the person you're sitting at the table talking to about stuff and still hear the music, and you don't got to yell. That's pretty good in my opinion there at the Reserve. So when you go in, tell Nick and the crew we said hello. All of the communication brought to you by United Supermarket on the chat line. All right. So tonight's What If Wednesday. No scholarships. Everybody's a walk-on. We get rid of NIL. We get rid of all this stuff in the alt universe. And there's an alt universe somewhere where all college sports is just whoever goes to the school, that's who plays football and basketball and baseball. All right? Would you still watch? Would you still care? Be honest about that. I mean, why? It gets down to the question, why do you watch college sports? Are you watching for a high level of play, or are you rooting for laundry? If I've got a stadium and a bunch of guys wearing Texas Tech scarlet and black are playing a bunch of dudes wearing maroon and white from A&M, are you going to go watch? If they're, non-scholarship, are you going to watch that or not? Why do you care? Paul gets in. NIL should be based on GPA. I would have been out of luck on the NIL on that front. Thank goodness my compensation from Texas Tech, when I was working at the radio station as a professional amateur broadcaster, was not based on GPA. Chris, how did the Lady Raiders end up representing USA at the University Games? I have no idea. That came about over the last year, 6 months, whatever. No clue whatsoever. I don't know how that happened. Glad they're there. They get to play. Now, the international players on the roster, I think there are 4, don't get to play. One of the managers is getting to suit up, and I don't know if she'll play or not. That's pretty cool. But yeah, there they are in Germany doing that thing. Not bad. Never been to Germany. Assume it's all right. Probably. I mean, they'll eat good. Well, you got strudel and schnitzel and things that, German sausage, whatever. Yeah, I could probably eat pretty well. My phone did not ring. Apparently, they did not need an old radio announcer to travel internationally to broadcast the games there, Chris. Sorry about that. What if Wednesday? I want to know seriously your thoughts on this. For everybody who rails against NIL, for everybody who rails against the changes in college sports, what if none of that were there? No scholarships. Nothing. You go to school. At the school, you play the sports, and they play other teams, and that's it. Again, I'll kind of make the high school reference, although we're getting now to the point in high school where we're drifting into NIL in the state of Texas. I believe if you're 18, you can do an NIL deal in high school. But anyhow, for those who rail against NIL and everything that's going on, how far do you go the other way? And I always ask the question: the people that don't like NIL, well, what's your line of demarcation? You don't like NIL. You don't want the players to be paid directly, but you're fine with the scholarship. Well, it's a payment in kind. Why should they get that? Why are you okay with that? Well, they get laundry money. They get cost of attendance money. They get free meals. They get free tutoring. They get all these things. Take out today's NIL world and back it up about 6 years. And okay, why is that okay versus getting paid directly? Why is that fine? Why is it not fine? Where do you fall on that line? And what is it that makes you root for your college football team or basketball team or otherwise? Jump in on the United Supermarkets chat line. I want to get your thoughts. I know it's kind of a meaty topic tonight. That's okay. If you don't want to do it, you can tell me who you think is going to win the British Open. Scotty Scheffler, Rory McIlroy. I am all about Ludwig Gobert this week. He had a good Scottish Open, got a T10, first time since the Masters. If you can handle the Rawls course in spring, you can handle Royal Portrush, I think, in the summer. They can give us a little British Open stuff. And, we got to call it the British Open. Oh, you got to call it the Open. Yeah, you got to call it the Open. That's what they call it. And then the throwaway topic tonight. We used to, I don't know how many boxing fans we have out there. The last bout of the night, after the main event, you have the main event, and then you have one more bout. And it's called the walkaway. It's just a bunch of guys, who aren't going anywhere, but they got to fight, got to make a living, got to keep the thing going. It's called the walkaway. The walkaway bout. Why do they call it that? Because after the main fight's over, everybody's walking away. Now you got these guys going in there for 3, 6, whatever rounds. It's the walkaway. So the walkaway topic tonight: ice cream flavors, dead summer. I got two. What are your ice cream flavors? Get in on the chat line, just like Chris does. He's one of our Facebook people. Ryan Heights Raiderland on Facebook. Again, free, everything else. If it was all amateur, the NFL would create some version of the G League. Great comment. Absolutely. The NFL is the greatest, smartest professional league in all of history of professional leagues, that they have figured out on the ownership level. One, when it comes to stadiums, socialized cost, privatize the money. make the cities pay for the cost, then you privatize all the profits. Hi there, Jerry Jones. They also have college football doing all of their dirty work, developing players for free, and then they come and get them. If they didn't do that, if you weren't doing that, if colleges weren't doing that, theoretically, no scholarships, no anything else, then a lot of football players would go, right? I got to have a different outlet. In the NFL, go, we got to have a different outlet. And they would create a G League. They would create a minor league that would be a buffer between NFL, minor league football, and college football, college sports. But I'm saying college sports. Why do you root for Texas Tech? Is it because of the high level of play? Would you not go to a game played entirely by non-scholarship players, Texas Tech versus UT? Any sport. Would you not go? Why do you watch? That's really the question. It's not so much money and everything else. It's not why are you invested? Why do you care? We use the term, do you root for laundry? If it says Texas Tech across the front and their helmet has a horn on it, longhorn on it, do you care if they're scholarship players or not? Be honest. Also, I would still be a college sports fan, but the product wouldn't be as good as it is now. No, it wouldn't be as good. Would you care, though? Again, why do you watch? Are you watching for a high level of football? What's the other level of football you're watching? It's college or pro, right? Watch college baseball. AA, AAA baseball is better than college baseball. So why don't people watch? I mean, just inherently flock to and watch. Why do people around here go to Tech games when they go to a Sod Poodles game and see better high-level sports at baseball? Why is that? A lot of G League's better than, well, no, I would say G League, and a lot of that's better than college basketball. Why do you watch college basketball instead of going and seeking out minor league basketball? Joseph on Facebook. Ryan Heights Raiderland on Facebook. Easy to get to. Brought to you by The Reserve Culinary Tavern. Also by Shropshire Insurance of Texas. Check out what they've got going on. Great website, Facebook, and their main page. I watch college sports because I can relate to the local yokels instead of the royal foreigners. Fascinating statement. Who are the local yokels that you relate to in college sports instead of the royal foreigners? That's a hell of a sentence that has been crafted and put together right there. I applaud that. I have no idea what that means. What does it mean? You tell me. Well, they must be done doing TV. David Collier, KMAC 28 sports director, Red Raider Nation. He directs the sports. You get over here, go over here. No. Back it up. Right there. Because you have a connection to the school you went to or grew up with, connecting with players that grew up with the program. So much for that. And that's what we get to now. It is de facto. You know, the idea, even going back to the 80s when I was at Texas Tech, early 90s, late 80s, I spanned multiple decades. Even then, there was a growing drift between the average student experience and the athlete, or the athlete and the average student. The idea that college athletes now are traditional students is a fallacy. Most of them are taking classes online. That's fine, you know, and a lot of that's the outgrowth. We found out in 2020, 2021, hey, we can do this. But the idea that the average college athlete is having the same experience you had at Texas Tech or Oklahoma or Stillwater or fill in the blank is really a fallacy. It's just not the case. That maybe 30 years ago, there was some commonality 40 years ago, more commonality. 50 years ago, probably, yeah. 60s, 70s, yeah. I talked to my older friends, older guys, and Texas Tech had 15,000 students, 10,000 students. Guess what? You probably knew more of the athletes. At 40,000 plus, they are totally cocooned. In name only. That's just the reality. I'm not picking on Texas Tech. It's that way everywhere you go. It is in name only. They're wearing your diploma's logo on their laundry. So why do you care if they get paid or don't get paid? But if they didn't get paid, you watch. Why do you watch? Are you watching because you want to watch, let's say, college football, the next best level of football before the NFL, and you love football so much, that's the highest level of football, you want to watch that. And if they were playing a drop-down level of football, you wouldn't watch whether it was Tech versus A&M, Tech versus UT, Oklahoma versus Texas. You're not going to watch because the football is not good enough. I would submit to the average fan, and you guys are not the average fan. The average fan couldn't tell the big difference if you ran out two teams, non-scholarship, wearing the uniforms, and they played a football game. The average fan watching on TV, whatever, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. You think you could, but a lot of you wouldn't. Not a lot of you, a lot of them. You guys are the best. You know that. Jump in on the United Supermarkets chat line, Market Street. Pro tip. And what are we on Wednesday? So we're a little bit past the weekend. All right. So next weekend, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, hit your local Market Street. Look at the end caps in the meat section. Great savings. They probably don't want me telling you this. No, great savings. They're on the end caps. You can find all sorts of specials, all sorts of great deals. So check it out. Watch college because the effort and passion for a program is better than most minor leagues. That's an interesting comment, too, because the guys in the minor leagues that you're talking about, they're trying to do a couple of things. They got to earn a paycheck, which most people play hard for money, or they're trying to get promoted and move up. So I would say that the minor league sports have been around. The guys played pretty freaking hard. It was their livelihood. It was their last chance. They were actually going hard. And they weren't getting paid a whole lot. And it was the dream was on the line. The job was on the line. I think people dismiss sometimes how hard professional athletes really do play. So I'm going to disagree with James a little bit on that. Joseph jumps in. Local yokels equals someone you might see at the corner club or convenience store. Corner club, Royal Foreigner, someone you thought you saw on a layover at DFW. Like Connor Graham is a low amateur. What's his odds on that? I don't have the odds up in front of me, Collier. You would throw that at me, and I don't have that. Give me the top three low amateurs. And how good is his Scottish accent? Some college sports are better than the pros, like the NBA and WNBA. Yeah. But again, if none of the guys playing for Texas Tech next year played a game against Houston or A&M or Texas, would you watch or not? Why do you watch? All right, now I get it. Hold on. British Open odds. Oh, and of course, it doesn't give me anything. It's up to you, Collier. You got to give me the odds. James, I know the Miners play hard. The Sod Poodles, for example, do a great job with their team's passion. So again, I get back to, okay, so if they play hard and play everything, would you watch a Texas Tech team made up completely of non-scholarship athletes playing a team from Texas A&M of non-scholarship athletes all playing hard out at Jones Stadium, 6,000 seats? Would you still go? And we're asking this question. You guys are probably not the right audience to ask because you guys are really smart. But every day this is, I mean, it's ruining college sports. It's ruining college football. Paying the players is ruining everything else. Okay, let's go back the other way. You good with that? Let's go all the way back the other. If the tainting is bad and you taint it with money, then we shouldn't give scholarships. We shouldn't pay for meals. We shouldn't do all this. Where is that? Where is this magical line that some people have between amateur and professional and how you can enjoy the sport? How does it keep you from enjoying? And again, I'm preaching to the choir. I don't understand how it keeps somebody from enjoying watching the game, knowing that the left tackle is going to get $500,000 and this guy's going to get $1 million and this guy's going to get whatever, and then they go out and play. I don't understand. Watch the Kansas City Chiefs, and nobody cares how much money Patrick Mahomes is getting versus the right tackle or right guard. You don't sit and, then people say, well, it's going to tear the locker room apart. Well, how the hell do you think pro teams exist? Well, that lineman's not going to block hard for the quarterback if he's getting this much money and he's not. Really? Because I've watched pro football for my entire life, and those linemen block. So where's this magical line, which is what all this comes back to tonight? And when you share this with your friends and say, hey, let's have a discussion. Why do you watch college sports? What if we didn't have any scholarships? What if it was all walkout? Would you watch? I'll watch that. They should get something. Well, where's that magical line of something that keeps you from enjoying it? Because every day I hear people telling me it's ruining college sport. It's ruining it. Why? How is it ruining it? Also, you guys have been really crappy today on our throwaway topic, our walkaway topic on favorite ice creams. Here are the two acceptable best ice cream flavors: Rocky Road and chocolate chip mint, or mint chocolate chip, whatever you want to raise it. Those are the two. Those are the two best. Rocky Road, mint chocolate chip. Anything else after that? We really don't need to have a discussion. First off, let's go one thing here. Vanilla is not a flavor. Vanilla is the absence of flavor. Vanilla is just what you have to do to make ice cream. We don't have a flavor yet. Beyond that, you start getting into weird stuff like pralines and cream and, chocolate chip. Why would you want just chocolate chip when I can have mint chocolate chip? We don't stop there. Rocky Road, I don't know who made it. I don't know how it happened, but they stumbled upon it. It was great. It's fantastic. James, my wife respects college athletes being paid, but the over-the-top paying gets her. What is over the top? Who is your wife to determine what's over the top? What is over the top? They generate revenue, they make money, they get rewarded accordingly. It's simple economics. I'm not being mean to your wife, but who's she to say over the top? What is over the top? I can make a case that college athletes are getting underpaid still today massively based on the revenue split compared to professional sports, 51.5 to 48.5. They're probably getting underpaid based on what they generate. And I think we all agree, we're all Americans here. We love free enterprise. We love capitalism. We think everybody should make what they can make in the free market. I think we are. Product placement right here. Shropshire Agency, independent just like you. Stacy, you're wrong on ice cream. Butter pecan is the best. David Collier, butter pecan. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. Butter pecan is barely a flavor. It's butter, which wheat butter. Pecan's just a little, nut that you get thrown in there. It's not doing anything. Now when he jumps in, see all these people that watch the show and they're just hanging out and they're not jumping in. They're not commenting on in-depth college sports discussions. Would you root for non-scholarship players at Texas Tech if everybody had no scholar? Would you still go? Would you pay $20 to go watch a game for Texas Tech versus A&M, no scholar? But I finally going on ice cream, and all of a sudden, Wendy, Rocky Road. That's why I love you guys. David Collier's smarter than I thought he was. Wow. What time is it? 6:55. That was harsh. Did see that coming. He's got a degree from a university. From the United States of America. Talking about David Collier. He's got a degree from a university that at the time he went to school was a full-fledged state. I don't think it was a territory at the time. I think it was a full-fledged state. That's harsh. Butter pecan, no. Huh. I was sitting there looking the other day at the 58 flavors of Bluebell ice cream. That's too many. It really is. Now, I say again, vanilla is not a flavor. It is the absence of flavor. But you can just add whatever you want to. You'd be better off just buying some vanilla, throwing some chocolate syrup in there, throw some of your pecans in there if you want to, a stick of butter. You could do that. Strawberries, whatnot. Ain't the first time I've heard that. You can be pretty dumb and have a degree. I've even got one. Not going to say a word on that one. A few more minutes left. Seriously, ice cream flavors, your two favorites. I've got mine. Rocky Road Chocolate Mint. They're in the early 80s. Baskin Robbins had one that was called Baseball Nut. And it was kind of a rocky road with some cherries and a couple of different things there. And they discontinued it early mid 80s. And literally for like 3 years, I told my folks, I said, I don't want a birthday cake. I don't want anything. Just get me some of that baseball nut ice cream there at Baskin Robbins. Have no idea what happened to it. Really good. Joseph, I just like watching sports. It can be a pickup game in the park as well. Can you bet on it? As well as a college or pro game. Chocolate and peanut butter rocks. I've never had I've had peanut butter fudge. I love peanut butter. My wife would tell you that my, kryptonite is peanut butter. Peanut butter and anything, I'll eat it. Peanut butter ice cream, I've never had anything that chocolate peanut butter that was really good. I'm talking about that. British Open picks. Did you get me, Collier, the odds on that? Gonna go back a little bit. Connor Graham, low amateur. I need some odds on that. Nothing. I tried to draw it up real quick, and I got nothing coming up here because I hit the wrong freaking button. Oh, well, it happens. Ludwig Gobert, top 5. There you go. That would be my pre-flop play. Beyond that, you got your usual suspects. I would stay away from DeChambeau on this one. Rahm, I'm a little reticent to do that. If you want some, mid top 10, top 20 guys, Shane Lowry. If the weather's going to be bad, Shane Lowry's going to be there. Harris English, I think, would be another guy that I would be looking at that can maybe do some stuff there at Royal. Portrush in the Rota. We're there just like in 2019. How the hell are we back so quickly on that? You got a bunch of courses over there. What are we doing? Oh, and the All-Star game coverage. Last thoughts before we get out of here. And if everybody who gets a comment in between now and whenever I get done, I'll read it. But unpopular opinion, I hate the announcers on TV being able to talk to the players in real time. I hate that. I'm tuning in to watch the greatest players play great baseball. Baseball is the only All-Star game that they can actually play a game, that they can really play it like a real game, like a pitcher bearing down on a hitter, and I'm gearing up and I'm going to get you, and I'm going to, and now they got what? Huh? Spin rate. I hate that. I don't want to see that. Now, mic up the players and then come back and replay it to me later of the catcher and the pitcher talking, but don't have the freaking announcers talking to the players during the game. That's not why I'm tuning in. I'm dumb enough and old enough to think that these are the best players in Major League Baseball, and they have the ability to play a really good straight-up game. Leave them alone and let them play the game. And then by all means, let's have it settled by penalty kicks at the end of the night. Bud Selig somewhere happy. Bowie Kuhn. We're going to play till we finish this game. 1970, 71. You guys don't know. But yeah, I don't want the players being interviewed during the game while they're doing the game. I know I'm the only one. I know it's an exhibition game. No. All right, your last thoughts. Get them in real quick. If we get anything in the next 30 seconds, we'll read it. Otherwise, we're moving on to tomorrow. Thursday is overrated, underrated, rated right Thursday in Raiderland. We encourage you, by the way, to share this broadcast with all your friends on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, X at Ryan Media, or on YouTube. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, please do so. It's all free. We want to thank Shropshire Insurance for being out there. Awesome people, independent, just like you, Great West Texans. The Reserve, a culinary tavern. If you ever see me out there, tell us hello. Come up and say hi. Unlike David Collier, who is reticent to be approached in public. No, I think he was the favorite as low amp. Gotcha. Loving all the rain, even if it means more grass mowing. We're good with that. Finally had to turn the water back on at our place today. It was just getting a little dry as we were going through the week. And that reminds me, I need to move the water and change that here when we get done. United Supermarkets takes care of all the chat line, all the communications. They support Texas Tech, unlike some grocery stores who take your money and send it somewhere called Austin. You guys are the best. Thank you for being out there. Please share this, grow it, take care of our sponsors when you see them online, Facebook, YouTube, or otherwise. Tell them thanks for being out there. I got to hit this little button. It's going to do stuff. I got to hit this one.